for the past, how many years? 8 years, ano? 2013 hanggang 2020. Ang tinapon nating pera, 2,736,428,600 pesos and 98 centavos. Hindi ba nakakapanghinayang ito? At ang daming walang gamot, lalo sa mga barangays. So what's the reason for this? Ano? Why are we overstocking? Why are we buying nearly or nearing expiration ng mga gamot, no, na nag-expire tuloy? So andan din yung breakdown. So what does this tell us? No? Sa akin, because I've been an investigator all my life, ang ini-indicate sa akin ito is probably, and this is not, I'm saying not possibly, but probably, merong mafia na well-entrenched, na hindi nabubuwag, hindi na-uproot, hindi na-extract, nandyan, nananatili sa DOH. Pwedeng nag-retire na yung iba, pero pinalitan ng natutong bagong miyembro ng mafia. And unless the secretary or the leadership of the DOH will really put his foot down and do something about this, hindi matatapos itong overstocking ng gamot. I'm sure if I go a bit more or a bit further pa, I'm sure lalabas pa rin itong mga overstocking na ito. And year in and year out, we are wasting hundreds of millions of pesos. Ayan na nga, from 2013, 2.736. Now, Secretary Duque, anong gagawin natin dito? What are the factors contributing to this? Ano? Pardon my assumption or my conclusion. Ano? But I think it makes sense to think na meron talagang mafia involved in the procurement of drugs and medicines. Because for the life of me, I cannot understand. Bakit tayo bibili ng malapit na mag-expire na gamot? May suki ba tayong malapit na mag-expire na gamot? Yun ang binibilhan natin lagi? At yun ang, or yun ang nananalo sa bidding? Kindly enlighten us, Secretary Duque.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ito pong binanggit ninyo, yung kasing meron tayong standards kung halimbawa may gamot na dapat 18 to 24 months. Hindi ko lang po hawak, no? Pero may standards po tayo na inihanda ito ng program at saka, in fact, even FDA. Hindi ka pwedeng bumili ng mga near expiring drugs and medicines. So siguro yung near expiry dito po na nakikita natin, baka hindi lang siya gumalaw kaagad at lumapit na doon sa kanyang expiration. Pero siguro mas maganda po, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, yung aking USEC sa procurement supply chain, ito po, ang alam ko, meron na po siyang programa dito para ito ay maibsan. Yung reforms na ginagawa natin, Mr. Chairman, halimbawa sa governance, meron na po tayong supply chain management office, yung development of the National Procurement and Supply Chain Management Strategic Plan. Tapos meron din tayo yung updating of the warehouse operations manual, yung development of forms and improvement of processes on notification, shipping list and bundling of essential commodities.
With all due respect.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I think ang better approach dito is a thorough scrutiny of the department or the unit under DOH that's in charge of procuring drugs and medicines, instead of, the theoretical or the usual highfalutin words describing how to go about it. Ako, tingin ko rito, kasi well-entrenched, imagine, at saka itong nearing expired, overstock, hindi po sa akin galing ito, sa COA ito. And COA, sila yung nasa ground, yung mga resident COA and COA investigators, were the ones who found out or discovered ito mga nearing expired. Pag sinabi nating nearing expiry, hindi pwede yung matagal pang mag-expire pero naging idle lang. No? Kasi iba yung expired. Imagine magkano lahat yan na expired na yan. Pag inalis natin yung overstock at saka yung nearing expiry. Yung expired, ito yung talagang wastage. And wastage of public funds. Now, hindi ba mas maganda po na pag-aralan natin mabuti. Unless, and I don't want to believe that you have been co-opted, no, because I
Thank you,
don't
sir. Thank you, sir.
believe that. No. So, if I may suggest,
Salamat po.
I think an investigation is in order to
Okay,
find
sir.
bakit lagi na lang ganito yung ating pagbili o pag-procure ng drugs and medicines. Imagine, no, 2.7. Pag bumalik pa tayo ng another 8 years, baka umabot na ito ng 5 billion. And nag-commit po kayo ng 2018, February 7, when you faced us in the Commission on Appointments. Pero 2019, lumobo, naging 2.2 billion yung overstock expired sa kanilang expiry. Hindi po dapat, di ba dapat hindi na COA ang magre-raise ng red flag dito? Dapat kayo na.
Yes, sir.
2019, a year after you committed during the confirmation hearings, lumobo pa siya ng 2.2 billion. So kung ako yung, of course, theoretical ito, no? Kung ako yung nasa posisyon, gagawin ko agad. Titingnan ko, may mafia ba rito? Bakit taon-taon ganito hindi nagbabago? These are recurring issues involving drugs and medicine. Now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Magpapaimbestiga po ako nito.
Yes.
Lalo na yung sinabi ninyo na yung may mafia. Kailangan talaga itong...
Kung ako yung mag-iisip, yun lang iisipin ko kasi recurring. Sana kung isang taon lang tapos nawala, maaaring kapabayaan lang. Pero pattern na po ito Secretary. So please.
Yes, sir.
Now,
We will do that, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Issue, no? I'll fast track this. Ano? Yung deficiencies on management of HPEP equipment, ito po, mas malaki ito. 4 billion plus over a period of 7 years. From 2014, andyan din sa slide. Can they show this slide? Itong HPEP, ito yung banner programs, one of the banner programs under the Aquino administration kasi nagsimula ito 2014. For the upgrading of health facilities and providing training to health professionals to improve the access of people to quality health care. Yeah, the proper implementation of this program would have been beneficial to our response to this pandemic, especially now, mayroong pandemic. Now, ako, ito, matter of record, I supported the SPEP of DOH in terms of my institutional budget amendments kasi pag nag-amend ako, it's always institutional. As I believe that this is an integral part of our universal healthcare system. Crucial ito sa efforts natin to respond to the health crisis. For the 2020 budget alone, I propose an increase in the amount of 1 billion pesos. In 2021, nag-propose na naman ako ng increase na 8.68 billion. Sinusuportahan naman po ito ng mga kasamahan ko kasi alam nila na importante yung compliance sa universal healthcare. Pero pag nakita natin yung lapses in the implementation, ito, COA report din ito, through the years, in 2020 alone, equipment in the aggregate amount of 1.2 billion procured under HPEP were found to be either undelivered, unutilized, and without calibration and preventive maintenance. So sayang na naman yung pera ng bayan dito, Secretary. What can you say? Please, Secretary Duque.
Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Magagamit pa naman ho ito, Mr. Chairman. I-recalibrate lang para nang sa ganon makatulong sa atin mga diagnostics sa mga DOH retained hospitals. We have about 74 retained hospitals. So, papacheck ko po ito kaagad kung ano ang naging estado nitong mga makinang ito. I will order the regional directors to give me a report on the wherewithal of all of these equipment amounting to in 2020 1.2, in 2019 716 million, and so forth down the line. So titingnan ko po baka naman ito ay basalba pa ito at siguraduhin lang na makuha ko yung report at ano yung mga recalibration efforts na dapat gawin to make them functional if they're not yet functional, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you po. Hindi ito usapin ng corruption, usapin po ito ng inefficiency.